over all of the students.
Bro, it's just school camaraderie, bro. That's it.
And to be honest, for the first time ever in one of these videos, I don't actually have an answer for you.
Ha! Because there isn't an answer. Look at this man, Alex Bale. Doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Truly wrong.
I have 5.
Me and gang extorting niggas, watch them niggas cry. I don't really play with niggas, play with me, you die. Niggas saying that it's funk, but
The High School Musical Theory by Alex Bale. Fellas, I've never seen a musical. I've never seen a High School Musical. I'm being so serious. I know like certain like plot points of the movie, right? I think the first movie, because I didn't know it was a trilogy, but whatever. All I know is Troy's like some D1 basketball player who's dog shit, but you know he's an actor. Who cares? But he has to choose between going D1 in college or being in theater. What a choice. I know that one scene where the dude, I forgot the dude's name, but he was black with like the fro, little curly hair. His dad left his dad said he's going to get some milk and then left. That's all I know. But what is a High School Musical Theory, Mr. Alex Bale? All right. But with that being said, I love High School Musical Theory. I am the biggest High School Musical Theory fanboy there ever is. Just because I didn't watch the movies doesn't really mean squat. I can really hear y'all in the comments too. Hey, dude, you didn't even watch the movies. You're just playing this up for it. No. How dare you? Yes, you typing that silly comment or thinking that stupid thought. Question me and my integrity for the love of High School Musical, bro. I live these streets. I live through the drama, gang. I live for the High School Musical. Hey, dude, aren't you in college? Shut the fuck up, all right? High School Musical was the best of my life. I peaked in high school, bro. I can't even say it with straight face, bro. Fuck y'all, walk in.
Do you ever think maybe I could be both? Our team is coming apart because of your singing thing. I don't dance.
I don't dance. Peak cinema.
I've always thought there was something disturbing about High School Musical.
Yeah, these motherfuckers' outfits, gang, they straight trash. These outfits are straight dick.
Something.
I ain't go. Yeah, this tween. That's horrifying as fuck. This whack ass snatch grab, bro. Give me that shit. What the fuck is this? Golly, these outfits are ass.
Disturbing about High School Musical. I know that sounds strange because these movies were made to be anything but disturbing. They are the quintessential cheesy Disney Channel originals where everyone is always smiling and singing, and the biggest conflict is whether Troy will play basketball or sing in a musical. Truly a philosophical question. But he said cheesy. These High School Musical movies are not cheesy, motherfucker. Alex Bale, Mr. AB. They're not cheesy. They are phenomenal dialogues and commentaries of high school and the trials and tribulations many people go through while engaging in high school. They are by no means disturbing films, but if you really think about it, you'll notice these movies all have a very strange contradiction. These are musicals where the characters are singing and dancing about the fact that they don't want to sing and dance.
Hip-hop is my passion. I love to pop and lock.
That just seems like a microaggression. I'm not... No, I'm playing.
Jam and break. No.
There are scenes where Chad tells Troy he shouldn't sing, immediately followed by Chad suddenly breaking into a giant choreographed song and dance.
Do you think this is what Carl Anthony Towns did in practice?
Dude, you know that school musical thing? Is it true you get extra credit just for auditioning?
Who cares? You ever think LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal auditioned for their school musical?
Dude, you're like 5'11". Why do you compare yourself to Shaquille? But anyways, you got a rude awakening, buddy. No. Look, I think Shaq would.
There's even a song.
Oh, these
Ugh.
called I Don't Dance that Chad sings while he's dancing. It's a really weird contradiction that's always kind of creeped me out for some reason. It almost gives you the impression that these characters aren't in control or are aware of what their bodies are doing. But obviously, we're not really supposed to question the logic of these songs.
Good. Don't question it. Listen, I understand what Mr. Alex Bell is saying, and other people are coming to this conclusion as well, because I've seen this theory numerous times. Listen, bro. I'm a High School Musical movie fan, but I'm not that much of a fan. So I'm really unbiased when it comes to this shit. Yeah, he's fucking dumb. He's wrong.
Because that's just kind of how musicals work. These are just fantasy, non-diegetic songs that only
Having a source external to the context.
we, the audience, can see. There's nothing strange about them. So I tried my best to just ignore the creepy feeling I got from these movies. But
Good.
the more I rewatched them, the more I couldn't deny that there was something very wrong with the students at East High. I believe that behind the smiles and the singing is a very dark secret about this school. A secret that the filmmakers intentionally hid within these movies 17 years ago that today I intend to solve. This is the High School Musical theory.
Shut up! There is no fucking High School Musical theory, Alex Bell. It's all in your cuckoo mind. I remember the last Cocoa Puffs theory where you were just completely off the rocker. Off the mark, Mr. Bale. Off the fucking mark. Listen, buddy. Listen, there is no fucking issue. There's no High School Musical theory. There's no Cocoa Puffs grand conspiracy theory. Like there's no Tooth Fairy and there's no New Mexico. They're all made up. Non-existent, buddy. None.
You love watching Alex Bale's videos on the internet.
No, I don't. Did you actually subscribe to him? Fuck you.
But oh no, you've been hacked by a computer virus.
I'm screaming.
If only there was a safer way to use the internet.
Introducing private internet access.
I'm
Did
Billy
you know
Rock
that
on
when
any
you
block.
use the internet, your device sends out tons of private information that hackers, shady government agencies, and even advertisers can steal?
No! I really wonder what advertisements or advertisers have my data. What do you think the government is using with my data? What the fuck even is my data? What is that? What is that? I've heard the word data thrown around so many times, but really, what is that though? What does that include? I don't know. How do you do detour? What the fuck is data include? Okay. What does my data include? I can't spell. I can't spell. Online activity, your location, your interaction with. Oh, so just everything. Okay. So they know my interaction with like what? Well, I don't even like with TikTok or IG. My location. That's probably important, but I take it back.
Oh, I hate advertisers.
Private internet access, VPN,
Already a better actor than Gal Gadot.
helps protect your data by encrypting your internet connection through their world-class server infrastructure, with servers in 91 different countries and all 50 United States.
Okay, I don't think I need to get a VPN to use the internet.
Your IP address is
Whoa.
104.142.
What are you doing?
You live in Greensburg,
Hey,
Pennsylvania.
hey, stop.
Your credit card
Stop
number is
that.
your password is
Okay, I'll get a VPN. Just stop. What the fuck? Just stop.
Private internet access is the worst.
What is the best how do VPNs work? Like I know how they work, but in terms of like how are they made? How does one make a VPN? Like they go on the internet to shield themselves away from the internet. You know? How? How does that really work?
World's most transparent VPN provider with over 30 million downloads and strict no logs policy. They never record or store user data.
And I
I
can
would hope
use
so.
private internet access on an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time with just one subscription? Who are you people?
And that's not all. You can even use private internet access VPN to access geo-restricted content on streaming services.
I ain't gonna lie, imagine utilizing a VPN to watch a dog shit show like fucking Young Sheldon. Well, dude, not too much in young Sheldon. It's actually shut the fuck up.
I love when Sheldon says, Bazinga! Signing up to private internet access is risk-free. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they even have 24/7 customer support.
Wow, this all sounds really great. Thank you so much. This is amazing.
You heard him, bruh.
World ended in 2012, and we've all been experiencing a mass hallucination ever since.
What?
So, what exactly is happening when the characters in these movies sing? I'm not talking about when they're performing on stage in front of a crowd. I'm
This garbage-ass moon. This moon got a fucking chin-chin.
talking about when the characters are in the school hallways or the cafeteria, and suddenly, without any warning or explanation,
break into
the
dance,
entire school breaks out into a highly choreographed musical number and then just moves on from it like nothing ever happened.
Bro, it says, okay, Mr. Bale, you're thinking about it way too much. All right, there's no grand conspiracy. It's simply just a band of students coming together to sing while in school. Nothing crazy about it. Or maybe one of the students is just maladaptive daydreaming. Ever thought of that, Mr. Bale? Nothing crazy. You imagine just like someone just farted.
No, but seriously, guys, this summer I gotta make bank.
Like, what's really going on here? Are the characters aware of the fact that they just sang an entire song? Was this an impromptu flash mob that they planned? No, obviously not. We're supposed to assume that these are just fantasy sequences that only we, the audience, can see. Or that's what I originally thought.
What?
But then I took a closer look at these musical numbers and I started to notice a very strange pattern.
Be careful where you're going with this, Mr. Bale. I mean, I'm a very unbiased source. Let's see where he's going. Wrong, by the way, he's wrong, but whatever.
High School Musical, Gabriella is the new girl at school, and the first time she experiences one of these spontaneous musical numbers is in the Stick to the Status Quo song in the cafeteria.
I heard that's what they said to MLK.
Gabriella doesn't enter until about halfway through the song, but she has a very interesting reaction to it.
I low-key think he's just trying to holler. I ain't go. Is this how I impress the huzz? Yo, hoodie dude, watch this. Is this how y'all try to pick up girls or pick up women? This is like the average, like, I don't know, bro. Average, like, Duke Dennis fan on how he picks up. Duke, give me some Riz tips. This is how y'all approach him, Cuddy. Okay, Mr. Bell, I like your theory, but it's wrong. She is simply just not used to this environment of student camaraderie. She'll learn.
Unlike everyone else, Gabriella doesn't join in. Instead, she seems very confused and disoriented by what's going on.
And hyped.
She's honestly reacting like how you or I would if we suddenly saw our entire school singing and dancing without any explanation.
Not me, cause I start hitting the Dougie.
Okay, but maybe she's just nervous about people staring at her or something. This doesn't necessarily mean she's actually aware of this fantasy song. But this isn't the only time where something like this happens. In High School Musical 2, when Troy starts dancing in Work This Out, look at everyone's initial reaction.
They're surprised. Zingly, cool, presently amazed.
For a moment, they're all like, whoa, why the hell are you dancing, Troy? At first, they are confused by the nature of these spontaneous songs before they all magically join in too. And if you still don't think that this is weird, then let me show you one final example that can't be explained away so easily. An example that legitimately creeps me out every time I see it. High School Musical 3 once again has another big cafeteria musical number with Sharpay and Ryan.
Imagine having everything we ever dreamed. Don't you want it? Maybe. Can't you see it?
Kinda. And there's initially nothing strange about it. Until when the background students suddenly join in on the song without any explanation. Look closely at Ryan's reaction.
You want it all, want it, know that you want
it's very easy to miss with Sharpay.
Ryan just overstimulated. That's it. Alex Bale, are you trying to say people that get overstimulated very easily are like something's wrong with them? No,
in front of him, but Ryan is clearly extremely confused by the other students suddenly dancing around him. Unlike the other examples, there is no other possible explanation here.
Listen, Ryan wasn't in or informed there's going to be a pep rally at school during the day. This is all an anti-drug pep rally. If you didn't know, I actually was there for the High School Musical Theory, High School Musical set. Yeah, it's essentially an anti-drug pep rally. That was the in-canon explanation. So yeah, you're wrong.
In this moment, Ryan is 100% aware of the fact that he is experiencing an unexplainable, spontaneous musical scene, and he looks deeply disturbed by this.
Mr. Bale, your theory falls flat simply due to the fact she's not joining in, buddy.
Spontaneous musical scene. This is
I know that looks sketchy, that looks haunting, this looks daunting, but fellas, this can be shut up. This can be easily explained with just a few simple words. What do I say? You know what? Fuck what I said. Walk in.
Choice by the
He's just wrong.
Filmmakers. They are directly telling us that we should be questioning the logic of these musical scenes, which has some pretty disturbing implications about this world. Now, eventually Ryan does get pulled into the song like everyone else, but look at what happens after the song ends and we come back to reality.
What the fuck? I mean, I knew.
It's ours, Ryan.
Not only are they both still posing and out of breath, like they did actually sing that entire song, it wasn't just something that they imagined, but also, look at Ryan's face. He is once again very confused about what just happened before moving on like everything's normal. We are consistently being shown
that whack-ass snatchback.
That these big spontaneous musical numbers are actually happening, but it isn't something that the characters are choosing to do. It's like something is taking over their bodies and forcing them to sing and dance, but they only get these rare little moments of awareness and utter terror about what's going on before they're forced to forget about it and move on like nothing ever happened.
Cthulhu.
That's why these movies feel so disturbing to me, and this only gets stranger when we take a look at what happens when characters leave East High.
Oh. Okay. See, Mr. Bale, listen. I watch all the High School Musical theories. Y'all know I'm the biggest fan, even though I haven't watched them. Hoodie, you just contradicted yourself. No, I did not. Simply due to the fact I watched them all on TikTok via clips. Dumbass. Alright. So technically, it's the same thing as me watching them. Whatever the fuck. Anyways. Where was I going with this? Yes. You're just wrong.
What you want to do is
make it a fucking ad.
Save hundreds.
Limu, Emu, and Doug.
It's when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
I can ask.
I'm dying of laughter. Bitch!
Sharpay has always been in the spotlight, but to follow her dream, she'll take on her toughest role yet.
Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure is a spin-off after High School Musical 3 that follows Sharpay moving to New York to pursue her dreams of becoming a Broadway star. But
Broadway star? Ew. I'm playing.
What's strange about this movie is that it's not a musical. I mean, Sharpay does perform some diegetic songs on stage for an audience, but unlike all the other movies in this franchise, this movie has no spontaneous fantasy songs, which is really weird because Sharpay is like the most iconic musical character in this franchise.
Oh, yeah, of course, I knew that.
It almost feels like whatever causes people to spontaneously sing in this universe only exists in East High, or at least in the surrounding area. SNL did this parody sketch with Zac Efron that feels more accurate every time I watch these movies.
High School Musical 4, new senior class!
I'm here to talk about what happens after you leave East High.
Is there like a super senior in High School Musical? What was the incident in the High School Musical?
Here's the deal. No one sings at college.
What?
People just stared at me. And from what I can tell, this is America's only singing high school.
Remember how in the first High School Musical, Gabriella seemed kind of aware and confused by the spontaneous songs at first? It wasn't just a quick moment for her. She never joined in on Stick to the Status Quo. You probably never realized this, but Gabriella never actually gets a non-diegetic song until 2/3 of the way through the first movie.
Because she had to ease into it.
Despite her being one of the two main characters of this musical. What if this is because she's the new girl at school and whatever's making people sing hasn't fully affected her yet? Now, there are some exceptions where characters still spontaneously sing outside of the school, like in High School Musical 2 when they're in a country club for the summer, but that's still nearby the school in Albuquerque, and they have—
Wait, it's in fucking Albuquerque? I mean, I knew that. As a High School Musical fan, #1 fan, I knew that.
haven't really been there for very long. The main exception to this is at the end of High School Musical 3 when Gabriella briefly goes to Stanford as a part of early enrollment and she still has a non-diegetic song.
Take my hand, take the lead.
And they make a really big point about how far away Stanford is from East High.
Promise tonight in Albuquerque. It's 1,000 miles away.
So it seems like this would disprove the idea that the songs can only happen near the school.
Exactly, Mr. Bale. Your theory has no weight and you're wrong.
But then I took a closer look at this scene.
Fuck!
So Gabriella went to Stanford as a part of an early enrollment and had to miss out on prom at East High, but then Troy decides to also skip prom and instead dance with Gabriella at Stanford. And this is when we get their non-diegetic—
Wait, why was he on top of a tree?
Song.
Cause my heart is wherever you are.
But during the song, they're both briefly transported to East High's prom with all of their friends.
Maybe they both took edibles.
Now, obviously, this is just supposed to be a fantasy cutaway. They aren't actually back at the school. Stuff like this happens all the time in the musical numbers from these movies. These are all just imaginary fantasy sets. It's kind of like Troy and Gabriella are imagining they're back at East High.
What if they can all use a genjutsu?
Or incorporating things from their real-life surroundings into the fantasy. But if that's true, then why can we already see the exact same stone pillar set 30 minutes ago at East High?
Fuck! Hold on. What should I say? Budget cuts.
This was not part of some fantasy scene. They clearly actually built this set at East High. And this was before Gabriella even decided to go to Stanford early.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what he's gonna say.
But then why can we see the fantasy pillars backstage? Because in the Stanford song, the East High prom part isn't the fantasy. Stanford is.
No. Fuck! Hold on. Let me get my brain. Listen. I know this sounds bad. I know this sounds like a hoodie dude, he gotcha type of moment, right? But no. What's your theory for this?
Gabriella
or your evidence?
Never actually left East High. We are shown time and time again that these spontaneous musical numbers can cause vivid fantasy hallucinations of other places. So I think that whatever's causing Gabriella to break out into song also
hit the free throw.
Caused her to hallucinate going to Stanford when in reality she never actually left.
Okay, that's not that bad though. Listen, teenagers and their wild imaginations, not that bad. Listen, maybe they were imagining Stanford, but how is that even a bad thing, though? Like, how is it bad to imagine you going to your dream school with your, boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner, whatever the case?
You might be ready to say goodbye to East High, but East High's not ready to say goodbye to you.
No, fuck high school.
This honestly makes more sense than Troy being able to drive all the way to Stanford and back in time for the school musical with his piece of shit car that's constantly breaking down in this movie.
Push harder. And if my truck falls apart because I'm spending all my free time on stage, it's all your fault.
Something at East High is manipulating all of these students, causing them to sing and dance and even hallucinate to the point where they can't even leave. But that brings me to the question that you've probably been waiting for me to answer.
Say it.
What exactly is causing all of this? Why does this school seem to have this strange power over all of the students?
Bro, it's just school camaraderie, bro. That's it.
And to be honest, for the first time ever in one of these videos, I don't actually have an answer for you.
Ha! Cause there isn't an answer. Look at this man, Alex Bale. Doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Truly wrong.
I have 5. Yes, I have come up with 5 different possible explanations for the strange phenomenon going on at East High. For the first time ever, we are doing an official Alex Bale theory iceberg, and you get to decide which one you like the best.
None of them.
And I'm going to be sharing each of them with you in order from sort of tame and realistic to completely batshit insane, crazy, and stupid. Some of these are going to be a little more in-depth than the others, and some of these are just going to be kind of fucking crazy, so, you know, just mentally prepare yourself for that. Without further ado, starting with the very tip of the iceberg, here is the most boring, tame, believable theory I can come up with.
I'll debunk every single one. Because again, I'm the high school... Hoodie, shut the fuck up. So, fine. Now I'm playing. Fuck you. I'm the #1 high school musical movie fan of all time. I live and breathe this shit. I studied it like it's my Bible. And fellas, I'm excited.
This is all just lazy writing and coincidences, and I'm overthinking little things that actually mean nothing.
Yes!
This one's probably the correct answer. This is probably the correct answer to all of my theories.
I've read to edit the SpongeBob conspiracy ones. I low-key want to do those.
But you know, that's no fun, and you're not watching a YouTube fan theory for the, you know, the boring realistic answer. So, you know, let's
Cocoa Puffs theory.
Let's just move on from this one. I'm not actually counting this as one of the 5.
Fuck. The mass hysteria theory.
I've had this theory planned for a while, but fucking Danny Gonzalez kind of jokingly beat me to it first. So I don't know. Go check out his video. It's
fucking Danny Gonzalez. No, shout out Danny.
It's very funny.
Must be y'all when y'all in the pool, gang. It's queso. No, let me.
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
That's kind of our specialty.
I low-key want to watch the movie right now. It's kind of cool. I like dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs. Me like dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs.
18 Strasbourg, France, a woman named Frau Trofeo walked into the streets and
I heard about this. Shout out Wendigoon.
Started silently dancing without any explanation. Soon, other people began to join her, and over the next couple of weeks, hundreds of people all began uncontrollably silently dancing with no explanation or way to stop.
It's a violent cuh.
Many collapsed from exhaustion, and some even reportedly died from heat stroke. This became known as the Dancing Plague of 1518, and it is believed to be one of the most infamous cases of mass hysteria in history. The leading theory behind why this happened is because of extreme stress from famine and diseases at the time, but mass hysteria is something that still happens in many different forms to this day, even to students in high school.
Could mass hysteria be responsible for dozens of high schoolers' unexplained hiccups?
Health officials say 12 girls from Leroy Junior Senior High School have exhibited similar symptoms.
A doctor treating them says they suffered from conversion disorder, a very real condition resulting from trauma or stress. In the Leroy case, most of the sufferers attend the high school and junior high school there.
So maybe it's as simple as the stress of being in high school and the pressures of conforming to the status quo was enough to cause a mass hysteria at East High that resulted in students spontaneously breaking out into song and dance.
Well, here's one hole. I'll poke 5 holes in the theory like my father's condom. Listen. You're wrong, buddy. Simply due to the fact is that they can stop. I know it sounds bad, but no. It's all school camaraderie. There's nothing going wrong at East High, okay? It's all school camaraderie. If it was mass hysteria, truly was, there will be reports of them going to the hospital, them not being able to stop. You're just wrong.
I think this is a very plausible explanation for what's happening in these movies, and it really ties in well with the core conflict these characters are facing. And if mass hysteria is this low on my iceberg, then you know these next theories are about to get really weird.
The Zeke theory.
Creme brulee.
Okay, hear me out. I think Zeke is up to something.
What did he do?
Zeke is one of the basketball side characters, and his whole thing is that he secretly loves to bake, but no one at school accepts that about him, at least until the end of the first movie.
What do you mean no one accepts it? He's just ass. I mean, as a High School Musical theory fanboy, High School Musical movie fanboy, that's a fucking mouthful. As a fan, I remember completely.
I bake. What? I love to bake. Strudel, scones, even apple pandowder. Not another sound.
There's...
Damn! Flamed his ass! Not another sound! Like, imagine, bro. You like your homie, like one of your homies, one of your like day ones coming up to you. Dude, I think I like to draw. What do I like to draw? Like manga and anime stuff. I might become like a manga or comic book artist. They start laughing at you. I feel bad for Zeke. Maybe it's revenge. I mean, nothing wrong.
Not a ton to his character. He's just kind of the funny food guy. He's always giving people stuff he baked.
I baked these fresh today. I baked you some cookies. Hey, ladies, you guys want a cupcake?
But the one strange thing that I noticed about Zeke is his relationship with Sharpay. So Zeke has a crush on Sharpay, and he tries to ask her out.
Hey, Sharpay. Well, I just thought maybe you could watch me play ball sometime or something.
And she fucking hates him.
I'd rather stick pins in my eyes.
Oh my god. Why?
Evaporate, tall person.
But then...
Evaporate, tall person. I'm gonna start using that shit.
Then he bakes her some cookies, and she suddenly has a very different reaction.
These cookies are genius. The best things I've ever tasted.
What the fuck?
What's he putting in those cookies?
What did he put in those cookies?
Okay, well, whatever. That's kind of weird, but, you know, it's just...
Okay, listen. Me and for real this time, let me put my fan cap on. Actually, not my fan. Unbiased cap on. He's just that good of a cook. Listen, if you've ever had good food, it will change your mood, bro. I know it does for me. So listen, your theory's over. I know where you're going with this. Zeke baked a bunch of cookies and baked a cake to give to all the other students, yada, yada, yada. And Zeke probably cracked them out, or not cracked them out, or like did something to his cookie, laced them shits or some shit. Laced them shits or some shit. Truly a fucking college level sentence. Grammarly would be proud. But you're wrong, buddy. He's just that good of a cook.
Just a typical Disney Channel gag. But then, by the next movie, Sharpay completely forgets about Zeke and moves on to being obsessed with Troy.
Troy, Sharpay. Sharpay, Troy.
But then Zeke gets a job as a chef, and he's really excited to be working near Sharpay.
Chef Michael's gonna teach me the art of Austrian flake pastry. And Sharpay's gonna be where I work every day.
I think we can assume he's probably giving her food again. And then, at the end of High School Musical 2, she's kind of all over him again. There's potentially a pattern here. Then, in High School Musical
Sharpay's a big bag.
3, there's a deleted scene where Zeke is gonna ask her to prom, and once again, he's planning on bringing her more cookies, but then Jason takes them away, and all of a sudden, he seems kinda nervous.
Yeah, she's gonna listen to me, and listen good. You got this. Now give me the cookies. You don't need these. Go on, get in there. No, you're empowered. You got these. No.
Zeke seems to really believe that the cookies are necessary to get Sharpay to go to prom with him. And it turns out he doesn't need them, but the very first thing Sharpay says is...
Hey, Sharpay.
Zeke, cookies?
Huh.
No, Listen, you're just wrong. Listen, a lot of... I've low-key, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, growing up, I've seen a lot of bakers. They get shit. I'm just saying.
Interesting.
Listen, maybe Sharpay is just the big back, and Zeke is her supplier. That's it.
Also, later he finds out Jason ate the cookies meant for Sharpay.
That fast?
He is very concerned.
Where's my cookies?
I'd be mad too. Listen, if I'm Zeke and I bake cookies for my crush, and my good friend ate the cookies all that fast in a span of like, what, 5 minutes? I'd be mad too. Like, damn, bruh.
You ate all the cookies? Those were meant for Sharpay, not you.
Those were
Listen,
apparently...
like, I'd be mad too. Zeke is in the right. Why would Zeke care that Jason ate them if he already decided not to give them to Sharpay? Because maybe he wanted to eat them for himself. He made the shits. He couldn't at least had one?
Only for Sharpay, and now he's concerned about Jason, who later, during graduation, jumps on him in a very similar way to Sharpay.
Maybe he's just that good of a chef.
Those were meant for Sharpay, not you.
So, what exactly is Zeke putting in these cookies? And look, I'd be willing to just call this a weird running gag with some maybe uncomfortable implications, but it's not just Sharpay that Zeke manipulates with his cooking. In the first movie, all the basketball boys sort of trick Troy and Gabriella into breaking up, and later they feel bad about it and decide to confess what they did to Troy.
Gabriella won't even talk to me, and I don't know why.
We do.
But look at what Zeke does first.
I baked these fresh today. You probably want to try one before we tell you the rest.
He gives Troy cookies so that he won't be mad, and it works. Troy is never shown to be even a little upset that they caused his breakup. Zeke's cooking clearly has an effect on people, and he is constantly feeding everyone in these movies.
I'm good for a poolside picnic. What do you say? Zeke even made desserts. They're cooling. I'll let you know when they're ready. Now out of my kitchen. Hey, ladies, you guys want a cupcake?
I bet you those cookies that are always left out in Troy's house were made by Zeke. There's even this weird offhand mention from Troy in the first movie about having trouble remembering the previous night.
Do you remember the night before? No, not at all. All I remember is like pink jelly.
And he says the only thing he can remember is pink jelly.
All I remember is like pink jelly.
Which, I don't know, kind of sounds like something Zeke could have made him.
I love to bake. Strudel scones, even apple pandan.
Ah, shit, jelly. Okay. It's a good theory, Alex Bill, but you missed the mark. Really? Why would the cookies make them dance, though? If anyone, Zeke would just be popular and have groupies. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, so that's an incorrect, that's another poked hole in the condom you call a theory, buddy. Listen, you're just wrong. Because again, if Zeke really baked all these cookies and gave them to everyone else, right, they wouldn't be in tune or inquired to dance. They would essentially just love Zeke and want to fuck him.
What if Zeke is putting something in the food that's causing all the strange behavior we see?
Another popular theory about what caused the dancing plague was from people consuming wheat that was contaminated by a fungus called ergot, Elden Ring gas name, which contains similar components to LSD. Everything Zeke bakes contains wheat, so he's lacing them. That's a good theory. But again, they would all just be infatuated with Zeke, though. Would they not? And if they're on LSD, it would be tripping balls and essentially just be like that in general, and they could never be able to stop him.
At East High. But wait, why would Zeke want the entire school to be constantly breaking out into song and dance?
Exactly.
Well, what do these songs ultimately accomplish? The songs are ways for characters to express their inner truth. It causes Troy to realize he wants to be in the musical.
Why am I feeling so wrong?
Truly the Usher of the young generation.
Head's in the game, but my heart's in the song.
It causes everyone to break out of the status quo and ultimately accept their fellow students for who they are.
Oh, so you could be able to bake.
But inside I am stirring, something strange is occurring. It's a secret I need to share.
Which allows Zeke to finally be able to be accepted as someone who wants to bake.
Or a jock. Cook up me and creme brulee.
Yes, I think the entire reason for all the craziness going on at East High is because Zeke is drugging people with his cooking to make them more accepting of him as a baker.
No, because they can stop and go.
Someday I'll do the perfect creme brulee.
I know that this is a really insane idea that has some admittedly uncomfortable implications, but you know, you gotta admit there is a surprising amount of evidence for it.
There is, but what if my man Zeke just likes to bake it?
Couldn't not bring it up. Well, at least we know these theories can't possibly get any weirder than this.
The break.
Okay, wait. Just hear me out. Breaking Bad is a dark, gritty crime drama about a chemistry teacher teaming up with one of his former students to build a ruthless drug empire. High School Musical is a movie for babies about Troy trying to decide whether he wants to play basketball or sing in a musical. These are very different. You could not find two pieces of media more polar opposite than High School Musical and Breaking Bad.
I feel like it could. It'll just be really... It'll take some time.
Apart from maybe Blue's Clues and Law and Order.
Or maybe like... I don't know. What's two different pieces of fucking media? Like, Good Luck Charlie? I don't know. And like fucking Hank Shaw Ridge.
But what if I told you that they actually exist in the same universe? They both take place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They both came out in the mid to late 2000s, and they both heavily feature a high school. This is sort of a meme that's gone around the internet for—
The last High School Musical was 2008, the same year as this first season. We're ready to both take place in Albuquerque. Just could have got the high school
for a while because of these weird similarities. Even Mr. Matt Pat Film Theory, before he retired from YouTube, tried to make a theory about it.
And you know, as hard as I tried, I couldn't figure out how to prove that High School Musical was in the same universe as Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually the reason why Matt Pat retired. It was just the one theory he could never crack.
Drove him insane. Like the Riddler in the Zack Snyder universe.
Hey, if you can make an
Where are you gonna say Zack Snyder? Bring back the... No, fuck Zack Snyder's DCEU. That shit was ass.
tight connection, let me know, because that would be the best theory ever.
Well, okay, Mr. Game Theory, I accept your challenge. Let's see if we can avenge your death.
Okay.
Step into Wix Studio.
That'd be really cool to hear about the theory, but no, we got Wix Studio. I think they're important.
And handle every part of your build from one platform.
Shut up.
So, with all the strange behavior and hallucinations...
Thanks for the follow. I suppose. Hold on, no, there was a bug on me. I had to fucking move. Sorry. It was a ladybug.
In High School Musical, there is clearly a possibility that everyone is being drugged. But what if instead of Zeke being behind it, everyone instead got hooked on a new popular drug that's going around town, Heisenberg's signature blue meth?
This is pure glass. This is art.
A drug that Breaking Bad has established can cause hallucinations.
I thought you just pull out a pirate sword.
And here's something I bet you never realized. Breaking Bad is also technically a musical.
Wait, what?
One of the episodes opens with a random band recapping the show's plot in the desert, and it's never acknowledged again.
Hey, what the fuck?
So yes, technically, we can also call Breaking Bad a musical. Gabriella,
I guess,
is also referred to as a freaky genius.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
And is shown doing lots of chemistry with blue liquids, and is even shown teaching chemistry using blue rocks. Okay, but these are just, you know, cute little connections. None of this really definitively connects these two worlds. It's gonna take more than that to avenge Matt Pat. Well, let me ask you a question that you've probably never really considered. What is the musical in High School Musical actually about? You might be surprised to hear that we never actually get to see the school musical that Troy and Gabriella auditioned for in the first movie.
What if it was ass?
The movie just literally ends with them at the callbacks. All we really know about the actual musical in High School Musical is that it was written by Kelsey, it's called Twinkletown, and we get to hear a few songs from it.
What I've been looking for.
And you know what? The more I looked into the plot of this musical, the more I began to realize how much it eerily lines up with the plot of Breaking Bad. I know that sounds crazy, but just stick with me.
I'm hearing you out, buddy.
The first song
because I'm
called
liking this one.
What I've Been Looking For, and it's sort of vaguely about two people embracing a new relationship together.
Jesse and Heisenberg.
Finally found what I've been
been looking for.
You might assume that it's a romantic relationship since it's sung by Troy and Gabriella, but Ryan and Sharpay also auditioned for the same role, and they're brother and sister, so I'm just gonna assume it's more of a platonic relationship.
It's hard to believe that I couldn't see you were
Or maybe this is Alabama.
always there beside me.
It's hard to believe that I couldn't see that you were always there beside me. This is a relationship between two people who knew each other for some time before, but only now do they see each other in a new light. Jesse was Walter's student, who he never really thought much of, until he later found out that Jesse was secretly a meth cook.
Honestly, I never expected you to amount to much, but methamphetamine? I didn't picture that.
So
that's insane. Imagine, that's like few of you. The average rapper backstory. They preyed on my downfall. They said I wouldn't be shit.
They decided to partner up.
I've never had someone who knows me like you do, the way you do.
I've never
set up real
had
quick.
someone that knows me like you do. Jesse is the only person in Walter's life who knows about his secret criminal activities.
So lonely before I finally found.
I like this one. I'm liking this one.
I finally found what I've been looking for. Walter was living a sad, unfulfilling life before he partnered with Jesse.
I am an extremely overqualified high school chemistry teacher. I have watched all of my colleagues and friends surpass me in every way imaginable, and within 18 months, I will be dead.
But now he's discovered his true calling and finally found the exciting life that he's been looking for. The other song that Troy and Gabriella sing is called Breaking Free.
We're breaking free.
Flying.
And it's also just kind of vaguely about being yourself and finally being free to do what you want with someone else. And obviously, you can line that up with how Walter breaks free from his old life with Jesse, or more accurately, breaks bad.
We're breaking.
Say that again.
Bad? Okay, so these songs line up surprisingly well, but at the same time, the lyrics are also pretty vague and could probably line up with a lot of different things if you tried hard enough.
Exactly.
But things get
Mr. Bell, I think you're reaching.
really insane when we take a look at our last song from the musical, Bop to the Top.
Yeah, we're gonna bop to the top.
This is a song about the same two characters in a competitive environment doing anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
Ah, shit.
Anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
This is literally the plot of Breaking Bad. They specifically describe this competition in a pretty explicitly violent, brutal way.
Kicking and scratching. Gotta bump the
Competition, blow them all away.
Gotta bump the competition, blow them all away. This is what they do in Breaking Bad.
bop to the top.
Wipe away your inhibitions.
Wipe away your inhibitions. Walter's whole arc in the show is about giving up his moral qualms and giving into his dark side. He's wiping away his inhibitions to achieve success in the criminal world.
Holy shit.
They also randomly start speaking Spanish in this song.
Ah, shit.
Mucho gusto.
What the fuck?
Que fabulosa.
My bilingual queen and king.
Caliente.
Suave.
And obviously all the Mexican cartel members in Breaking Bad primarily speak Spanish.
Este no habla ni una palabra de español.
Ryan is wearing a fedora just like Heisenberg, and Sharpay is wearing a very blue dress, the signature color of Walter's meth.
Ah, fuck.
Heisenberg is dancing with his meth to climb to the top of the criminal world.
No. No, okay. Listen. It's not even the same shade of blue, Mr. Bale.
What does this mean in terms of how these universes are actually connected? Maybe Kelsey heard about the legend of Heisenberg, much like that narco corrido band in Breaking Bad, and she decided to secretly write her school musical about it. I mean, if everyone at East High is hooked on Walter's product, then clearly it's a big deal at this school, and it would get more people to watch the school musical.
That is very true. If my school made a fucking musical plot in the same vein as, like, I don't know. Let me think. Snowfall? I'd watch that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even a musical type of guy. All right. Clearly, even though I'm the #1 High School Musical fan, clearly I wouldn't be like that. Or I would like tune in. Shit.
Okay, well there you go, Mr. Matt Pat. There's my attempt at connecting these two pieces of
Imagine
media.
Matt Pat comes out of retirement just to prove Alex Bale wrong. Or maybe Matt Pat and Alex Bale collab, and it's the ultimate theory breakdown on why Hoodie Dude is the best YouTuber ever. Just a thought. Fuck you!
Yeah. I guess this means I get to be the new host of Game Theory? That's how that works? Yeah? Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Those were my High School Musical theories.
No,
Make sure
there's
to like
two
and
more.
subscribe and tell me which one you think is the best.
No, buddy, I remember. There's 2 more. I pay attention. I'm not like these other motherfuckers, okay? Listen, my fault if I'm not talking along this video. I'm actually invested and I'm watching this shit. It's very good. I mean, not bad. It's a very bad theory, Alex Bale. You're wrong.
Wait. What do you mean there's 2 more theories? No. You can't possibly get crazier than a Breaking Bad High School Musical theory. That's clearly the limit.
So far, you've been off the mark, Mr. Bale.
Can't get any more insane than that.
The Human Zoo. That sounds like someone's fetish. Theory. I know I should be a voice actor. I am actually. I did some voice work, for a while, for a couple shows. What shows, Hoodie Dude? All of them.
Welcome everyone. We officially have reached the point of no return in this video, where I will now try and convince you that East High is not actually a high school, but in fact is a human zoo where scientists are secretly watching and experimenting on these students.
Ah, shit.
Yes, I know that is the stupidest thing I have ever said, and yes, like always, I am actually being serious. Okay, so where do we even start with this? In the first High School Musical, Sharpay and Ryan are in the school library, and they're researching the new student at their school, Gabriela Montez.
There's something freaky about her. Where did she say she was from?
They search her name on the internet. And
wait, that works? Could he search my name up on the internet? What comes up when he type the name Hoodie Dude?
The first 2
Whiz Kid. Oh yeah, she got bullied.
2 results tell them that Gabriela was an extremely smart student from out of town who's won a bunch of academic awards.
What if she was like a convict?
Oh, an Einsteinette.
But we can also very briefly see a third
what the fuck? Gabriela San Diego Zoo new chimp?
Result that reads, Gabriela, San Diego Zoo's new chimp, scientists set up real-time habitat cam. Now, at first, there's nothing all that
Yeah, I know. Fucking Danny Gonzalez also pointed out this search result, but he didn't come up with his theory.
Strange about this. They searched up the name Gabriela, so they're obviously gonna get some irrelevant results about other things with the same name.
Exactly.
No big deal. But what's weird is that this is a result about the San Diego Zoo, the same city that we can see Gabriela originally came from. And that's strange because they didn't search up anything about San Diego, they just searched Gabriela's name. The fact that it's from the same city is seemingly a total coincidence. But then there's also the fact that it's about a new chimp at the zoo at the exact same time that Gabriela is a new student at East High. Okay, that's 2 strange coincidences, but
very cool, very strange.
Whatever.
Coincidence, yeah.
Gabriella's obviously not a chimpanzee, and this school is obviously not a zoo.
Imagine some racist from Twitter.
Too stupid of an idea to even think
I'm Hispanic, by the way.
But then I did think about it, and I kept noticing more of these weird coincidences. At the start of the first movie, listen to what Taylor says when she first sees the basketball guys.
Behold the zoo animals heralding the new year.
Behold the zoo animals?
It's just a throwaway line. She was mad.
What is going on?
She was annoyed.
This is such a stupid idea, but it keeps coming back.
No.
And then I realized the students at this school are constantly being compared to animals.
Hey, what team? Wildcats!
Sharpay's kind of cute too. So is a mountain lion.
What the fuck?
I smell a rat named Darbus.
Actually, I think it's 2 rats.
You know what I'm gonna do to those 2 overmoved show dogs?
Nothing.
What's up, Donna?
Ducky, how's my dashing boy?
It goes around your neck, like a dog collar.
And then the fish turns into a gorgeous prince. That girl's got more moves than an octopus in a wrestling match.
An octopus in a wrestling match. I'm going to use it.
I know everyone thinks that I'm Sharpay's poodle.
The students even dress up like animals. Okay, but come on. This is still such a stupid idea.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
stop.
Even if the students are constantly compared to animals, obviously we know that they're not. They're clearly human. We can see that with our own
What if
eyes.
they're animals that are drugged?
Like, what are we even supposed to assume here? That they were animals that somehow turned into humans? No.
I gotta make a call. Sorry, I didn't mean to say. I'm back.
Oh, no, that is so stupid. End of story. Theory debunked. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, God.
When Taylor is trying to explain to Gabriella why she shouldn't date Troy, she literally shows a diagram of a monkey evolving into a human.
From lowly Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon to early warriors, medieval knights, all leading up to Lunkhead Basketball Man.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. What does this mean? Why
what does it mean?
are they constantly telling us that these students are animals at a zoo? Are we really supposed to believe that these students were like originally animals that somehow evolved into humans? Hang on. No. We're not even talking about just a normal zoo anymore. This is some mad scientist sci-fi bullshit. This is not something a normal zoo does. But wait a second.
I'm in SeaWorld.
Remember, it didn't say zookeepers or zoo staff set up the habitat camera.
Science.
It was...
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck! Okay, it's not even that true, dude. Scientists could mean a plethora of things. What do you think scientists really mean? Scientists? No.
Specifically...
It's like how everyone calls themselves an entrepreneur, but their business doesn't fucking even work. They don't even have a bit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing.
Scientists. Meaning there is some kind of scientific research going on. Okay, you know what? Fine, whatever. I am going to entertain this stupid idea. Here's how I think this could work. The students at East High were all former animals that scientists experimented on, speeding up their evolution process and transforming them into humans. They were placed inside of an elaborate exhibit inside of the San Diego Zoo that was meant to replicate a human high school environment so that scientists could study their behavior. The scientists even set up real-time habitat cameras disguised as normal school security cameras on the ceilings.
Oh, maybe we're being punked. Maybe we're being filmed right now.
For the most part, the zoo animals act like completely normal humans, but some animalistic traits still appear, like how they all stick within their
monkey see, monkey do!
Very specific animal packs and herds.
The drama geeks and the brainiacs suddenly think that they can talk to us.
Troy, I would consider myself an expert in that particular subspecies.
Oh, God.
It's like a jungle up here.
Yeah, just like that cafeteria.
Also, there's the fact that Troy is always climbing trees like an animal.
What the heck are those two doing in a tree?
Another
Shit like that.
top secret hiding place. And what is it with you and trees?
I guess I see things more clearly from up here.
Fuck.
But what exactly are the scientists trying to achieve with these experiments? Why turn animals into humans and put them inside?
And that would explain Troy being dog shit at basketball. But they still treating him like he's D1. It's what I would say if this theory was completely true, which it isn't. It's fucking false.
Of a fake school. Well,
did I do good? I appreciate it.
To answer that, I think we need to take a closer look at Taylor McKessie.
She is
if
scientist.
This theory is true,
is what I would say.
Taylor seems like the one character who would be aware of it.
Behold the zoo animals heralding the new year. From lowly Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, Troy Bolton represents one side of evolution.
I would consider myself an expert in that particular subspecies.
But why? What's so special about her?
Chem Club President Taylor McKessie.
Oh no.
If those science girls get Gabriella hooked up with Troy Bolton.
Taylor is the head of the science club. She knows so much about what's going on because she is one of the scientists secretly running the zoo.
I said nothing.
And what is Taylor's goal in this movie?
Troy Bolton represents one side of evolution, and our side, the side of education and accomplishment, is the future of civilization. This is the side where you belong.
She wants Gabriella to stay away from Troy so that she can better use her intelligence for the good of mankind. And Taylor's not even exaggerating here. Gabriella is actually a genius who could change the world.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Wow. Einsteinette.
A judge at an academic competition said they have never seen someone so poised and scholastically accomplished, and her future burns brighter than 1,000 suns. Holy
God, read
Shit.
He's Reed!
Entire reason scientists are turning animals into humans at this zoo is to create super intelligent subjects like Gabriella that could later go on to help mankind.
Oh shit.
That's why I think East High is actually a human zoo. Oh, and I guess the experimentation also has the side effect of making them sing sometimes. You know, I kind of forgot.
Yeah, monkey see, monkey do. I mean, fuck! I gotta make a call. I didn't say that, 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 I didn't say that. Listen, it's a good theory, but it's not even that good.
Not that the point of these theories was to answer why the characters sing. I think I got a little carried away with this one, but that's okay, because I have saved my personal favorite answer to this mystery for the final and best theory in this video. We have officially reached the deepest layer of this theory iceberg.
Okay, before we start, I'm just letting y'all know, I'm completely unbiased, right? Y'all know that, right? And I would never question or like ruin the sanctity of my integrity of myself in this channel for money, for scientists. No.
Get ready for the most insane, most ridiculous, most batshit crazy High School Musical theory you will ever hear.
Dude, I have a boner.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest, this one's not actually as crazy as Zoo Theory. I don't think I can actually get any more ridiculous than that one. This one's somewhere between Breaking Bad and Human Zoo. I mean, it's still pretty far down there. But the reason I saved this one for last is because not...
I guess we'll never know. We got a fucking booking.com ad.
Me out to the mountains.
Yeah, if I can afford them.
Take me out to South Beach.
Is this AI?
Buy me room
Oh no, it's the Rizzler. It's not AI.
service and mini bar snacks. I
You know what? This is the best ad of all
don't
time.
care if I never check out. So
This is the best ad of all time. They have the Rizzler.
only is it my personal favorite answer to this mystery, but I believe that it is the answer that is most likely intended by the filmmakers. Out of all of these theories, I actually think this one has a really good chance of being true. This is the Miss Darbus theory.
Okay.
So, something at East High is forcing the characters to break out into song and dance against their will, and then seemingly forget about it. But what is actually the point of these fantasy musical numbers? They cause characters to express their inner truth.
And now suddenly people are confessing.
Inside, I am stirring. Something strange is occurring. It's a secret I need to share.
Troy sings about his secret desire to be in the musical. Zeke admits he loves baking. Chad comes out of the closet. The singing forces them to confess their inner truth, and it ultimately helps them discover who they really are. And you know who's constantly talking about this exact same thing? Miss Darbus. Miss Darbus is East High's drama teacher, and she is constantly talking about how the theater and the musical arts can help kids express themselves.
This is where the true expression of the artist is realized, where inner truth is revealed. The stage can be a wonderful partner in the process of
What if they're all dead and Mrs. Darbus is like God?
self-discovery.
This is where inner truth is revealed. It's a wonderful partner in self-discovery. Doesn't that sound exactly like what's happening to these students?
Yeah.
And she even talks about the theater like it has some kind of supernatural divine power.
Proximity to the arts is cleansing for the soul.
I ain't gonna lie, this is just an average, it's like dead ass every fucking English teacher I've ever fucking encountered, dude.
The theater is a temple of art, a precious cornucopia of creative
Vocabulary immaculate though.
energy.
Is it possible that Miss Darbus is actually aware of what's really going on at this school? Well, to answer that, we need to take a look at her reaction to Troy's non-diegetic song in High School Musical 3. So this is the part in all of these movies where Troy is upset and he's bad at basketball and he wants to sing about being upset. So he breaks into the school at like the middle of the night and sings the iconic song, Scream.
I ain't gonna lie, the basketball jersey with the jeans combo is insane, bro.
This is clearly supposed to be a non-diegetic fantasy song where basketballs appear out of nowhere and the hallways literally turn upside down, and it ends with Troy back in the school's theater.
Bravo.
Miss D?
Troy realizes Miss Darbus is also there, and they have this very interesting exchange.
And the reason for your visit is?
I don't know. I feel like this is a good place to...
Scream?
Or just to think.
Miss Darbus says that Troy came here to scream, clearly referencing the song he just sang. But then Troy corrects her and says, no, I was just thinking.
This is a good place to...
Scream?
Or just to think.
Troy believes that he was just thinking to himself because he's unaware of the fact that he just sang an entire non-diegetic song. But Miss Darbus is clearly very aware of what really happened.
Scream?
And she's not confused by it like other characters. She is absolutely aware of what's happening to these students, but why? Who is Miss Darbus really? Well,
God.
Oh, that's a tough question to answer, because we don't ever really get any of her backstory, except for maybe the occasional vague one-off line.
Better to consider opportunities now than in 10 years when life may limit your choices.
Maybe she's the Grim Reaper.
Better to consider opportunities before life limits your choices. Kinda sounds like she's maybe talking from personal experience. Did something happen in her life that limited her choices?
She's Marilyn Monroe.
Maybe she wanted to be a Broadway star, but then got stuck as a high school drama teacher. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's hard to really understand Miss Darbus because we don't ever get to see what her life outside of East High is like. Trust me, I've rewatched all of her scenes many times, and I've never really found anything that was useful. But maybe that's because the answer isn't in those scenes. At 46 minutes and 8 seconds into the first High School Musical, for just a brief moment, we see a wall in the school that has been completely covered in writing. It says things you'd expect, like, go Wildcats, love the Wildcats, Carol loves Tammy, all things you'd expect from the students at this school. But there is one thing on
Why'd you see a dick?
This wall that really stands out among the others. Something that
Does that say balls? Oh, boys.
Legitimately gave me chills the first time I saw it. A drawing labeled Miss Darbus with X's over her eyes.
She's a ghost.
Now, I could understand a student writing something mean about a teacher.
Big fat meaning.
They don't like. But this isn't just an insult. This is clearly a drawing of Miss Darbus dead. It feels like some kind of creepy school shooters drawing that really does not feel like it fits in with this very PG Disney Channel universe. I honestly can't think of any reason why they would include this depiction of Miss Darbus dead.
Holy shit.
Wait a second.
Holy shit.
When Troy broke into the school at night, why was Miss Darbus there?
Miss D?
She claims it was to get some schoolwork done, but like, why is she working on it in a very dark theater as opposed to, I don't know, her house? And look at how creepy she looks, just sitting there in the dark, secretly watching Troy. It's also weird that she just happened to be there on the one night Troy decided to break in. You know, come to think of it, it's not just that we never hear about Miss Darbus's life outside of the school, it's that we've never even seen her outside of the school grounds. Hang on, is Miss Darbus like a ghost? No, that's stupid. But wait, this isn't even the only time she's just magically appeared in the theater. The first time Troy and Gabriella try to audition for the musical, she tells them that they're too late, and we see her leave.
Perhaps the next musicale.
Troy and Gabriella decide to stick around and sing the song anyways, but then afterwards, Miss Darbus just appears in the theater again and acts like she heard the whole thing.
Wow. That's nice.
Bolton, Montez, you have a callback.
What? We saw her leave. We could even see while they were singing she was not there. But then a whole 2 minutes later, she just suddenly appears again, acting like she heard the whole thing. Look, we could even see that her appearing scares the other students.
Bolton, Montez.
She also has
Maybe she was trying to aura form.
Very similar moment to this in the beginning of High School Musical 3.
Well, how much time will it take?
Yeah, and what the heck is the show about?
You, Mr. Danforth.
Holy shit, dude.
Like 5
Holy shit.
seconds ago, we could see she was clearly not there. My favorite of these moments was in the cafeteria in High School Musical 1. After Gabriella accidentally spills her lunch on Sharpay, she just suddenly appears again.
You do not want to get into that, man.
What is going on here?
It's like a jump scare. Ah! Life limited Miss Darbus's choices. She's always...
So did she die as a English? I mean, she did, but like, what did her in? Did a fucking stage like just... Did a stage like the Spider-Man fucking swan dive onto her skull?
At the school.
Rest in peace, Miss Darbus.
Always suddenly appearing out of nowhere. There's a drawing of her dead. She even talks like she's from a much older time.
Perhaps the most heinous example of cell phone abuse is ringing in the theater. What temerity!
And she hates any new modern technology.
Was that a cell phone?
No, ma'am, that was the warning bell.
This perfectly explains why everyone seems to have this supernatural musical spell over them that only she is aware of. Miss Darbus is a ghost that is haunting East High, and she is forcing these students to sing about their inner truth in order to help them discover who they really are.
Imagine someone had like an inner truth of them being a fucking like gooner artist, and they just expose themselves to the entire school world.
But let's hang on a second.
Oh,
the High School Musical franchise is just a bunch of grounded movies about kids in high school.
I don't know if you've seen Troy's fucking crossover. I don't know if it's really grounded. Dude sucks.
No explicit supernatural elements in them. I don't think I can honestly claim that there's this secret, intentional, underlying message about ghosts haunting the schools in these movies.
What?
What? What are you expecting me to just?
What the fuck? You talking to me? What the? You talking shit?
Scream at you with some big final surprise evidence?
Yeah, theory man, get the theory.
Come on, guys, I am not that predictable. High School Musical 3 was originally going to be a Halloween-themed movie called Haunted High School Musical and would have featured ghosts haunting East High. Yes, I am being 100% serious. This is real. This is actually what they were originally planning on doing with the final movie of the trilogy before they decided to scrap the idea. But we can still see hidden clues from this ghost subplot that I bet you they were planning on paying off in this movie, where it would have been revealed that Miss Darbus was actually a ghost all along and she was the cause of all the students breaking out into song. And that is my final High School Musical theory. Thank you very much.
My mind is broken.
Also, they would have revealed that the school is actually a human zoo inside of Breaking Bad. Okay, bye.
Bye.